And they're not even hiding it now. They say very public, our purpose is to remove the dollar as the reserve currency of the world. That's what BRICS nations are doing. Vladimir Putin's been doing it since 2013. Xi Jinping joined, or since 2008. Xi Jinping joined in 2013. Did you know in 2008, China held 10% of our outstanding foreign debt? 10%. Today, they hold about 2%. I've got inside papers written in Chinese with translations from ChinaScope where they say flat out, we're going to destroy the dollar. How we're going to do it? We're going to destroy it because we're going to convince other nations to stop using the dollar, and we're going to stop buying dollar-based bonds. And then we're going to start selling them. 30 BRICS nations are together on this strategy. And you may have heard the, quote, rumor that the petrodollar was ended. You know what the petrodollar is? In 1974, after Nixon had left the gold standard in 1971, he had to have something to prop up the dollar. We'd just gone through an oil embargo from the OPEC nations, and we had an oil crisis in 1973. And so Nixon decides, we got to fix this. We need a permanent ongoing supply of oil. Saudi Arabia probably needs defense, so we'll defend the kingdom. And here's the deal. We'll buy your oil if you promise to sell oil primarily in dollars, and then when you make extra money, put it into the U.S. Treasury bond and make that the reserve currency. When you have extra money, you hold it in dollars. They agreed to that in 1974. That was 50 years ago. You might have read that a few days ago that the agreement was a 50-year agreement and it ended. And then they quickly rushed out and said, oh, no, that's just a rumor. No, it's just an informal thing. Well, I'll tell you some truths. It happened in 1974 and they denied it in 1976 and 1978 and 1979 and 1984. They denied it. I know because I watched them deny it. But I've got a picture on the wall out there with me with William E. Simon, who was the Treasury Secretary under Nixon, and I know for a fact that he and Henry Kissinger flew to Riyadh and struck a deal with them. They might not have signed an agreement, but they had an informal nodding and agreement. And for most of that 50 years, if you sold a barrel of oil anywhere, it was priced in US dollars. And when the Saudis got extra money, they put them immediately in United States Treasury bonds. And just last year, they stopped selling mostly in dollars, and they started selling in a few other countries. It's still mostly in dollars. But they'll sell oil to China, and they'll take renminbi, or Chinese yuan. They'll sell to other nations. And Russia and China are doing trade that doesn't involve dollars. Is the petrodollar dying? Well, Elon Musk again, I'm going to quote him. He tweeted famously, he said, if you weaponize your currency enough times, other countries will stop using it. Let me give you an example of that. Russia invades Ukraine. We say to Russia, oh, you hold some of your currency in US dollars in American banks. Well, we're just going to take those aside and not let you touch them. Russia says, wait, what? And then we recently said, we're just going to take that money that was yours and we're going to start sending it to Ukraine. Wait, what? What do you think Vladimir Putin says to India when he talks to India? India says, oh, don't worry, you're America's enemy. You invaded Ukraine. We're America's friend. We're an ally. And Putin looks at them and says, you know, during World War II, who were America's enemies? Oh, gosh, it was Germany and Japan. Where are they now? Oh, they're allies now. Okay, things change. But they became enemies to allies. Who were America's allies in World War II? Did that include Soviet Union, Russia, and China? Yeah, actually it did, didn't it? And they're America's enemies now. Things change.